Hi there, Mark Jaben here, Medical Director for the Haywood County Health Department, and let's talk about this pandemic. In this video, what about all these variants of the virus we're hearing about? And what does it mean? So please share this with someone you care about. So it was always to be expected that different versions of the virus would emerge, and here's why. The virus infects a cell so it can replicate itself and then be able to jump to another person. And the virus does not do this perfectly each time it makes a copy. Some of the copies have mistakes in them, and if it turns out that this mistake makes it harder for the virus to live on, then the copy just dies off. But if the mistake, by chance, makes the virus better at its job, then that version flourishes and might push out the previous version. That does not necessarily mean it is more dangerous, but it does mean it becomes more present around a community. And it often happens that the new version is less dangerous because it does the virus no good if it kills off its host, which will leave nobody for the virus to jump to. It's not exactly in the virus' best interest, really. Now, there have been more than 100 mutations identified in the SARS-CoV-2 virus so far. 3 of these have been noted in the spike protein. And this is important because it's the spike protein that the virus uses to latch onto a cell and enter it. This is also the part of the virus that the vaccines target to stimulate an immune response. So mutations here are concerning because a change in the spike protein might make it easier for the virus to enter a cell. We know that the versions from the UK, South Africa, and the Brazilian variants are more transmissible, and this is why. It might make the virus less susceptible to antibodies that latch onto the spike protein to neutralize it, meaning antibodies produced from a previous infection might not work as well. And such a mutation might make the vaccine less effective in stimulating an immune response. These are the concerns being raised right now. Now, Moderna has studied this in their lab and indicates that their vaccine still works. They're now doing some preclinical studies to confirm that. And one of the beauties of the messenger RNA platform, that's the platform being used by both the Moderna and the Pfizer vaccines, is that it does not take much work to adjust the vaccine. But think about this. Even if the effectiveness is decreased from the 95% to 80% or 75%, that's still really good. So certainly this is being watched and worked on closely. The best thing would be if a vaccine was crafted to use a different part of the virus, a part that does not seem to mutate or change. This, by the way, is how measles vaccine is able to provide lifelong immunity. The part of the virus used by the vaccine does not seem to mutate. It's also why flu needs an updated vaccine each year. The part of the virus used to make the flu vaccine to stimulate an immune response mutates frequently. So here is the take-home message when it comes to these variants. The more people become infected, the more the virus copies itself. And the bigger the chance that mistakes or mutations occur. And the higher the chance that for possibly more dangerous variants. Driving case rates down is the best way to prevent variants from even arising, and it's the best way to get ahead of whatever variants do arise. We don't yet know where it's all going with these variants. We do know, however, what you can do about it today. So be aware, do your part, focus your energies there. Yet another reason to follow the public health protective practices, or if you haven't been inclined to do so, a good reason to start, so we can all safely gather together again. So be well and be careful, especially right now.